Okay, we're live, everybody.
All right.
Add to the stream.
Awesome. Hi.
Twin.
How come I don't know, for some reason I need Bully to be on this link because it's not adding her. It says her name, but it doesn't let me add her.
I'm not too sure if she wants to be added. I do know that she wants to tell
She's gonna
everybody.
listen. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. If she has any questions or comments, she can add them on here, and I can ask, like, if she has a question or she wants us to say something. So first of all, I would like to welcome everybody to Behind Bars live in the 505, and I would like to welcome first my co-host Jules, and then I would like to welcome. Let's go from this way. We'll go this, or yeah. Brad, we'll start with you. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, which facility you did time at, and how much time you did, and then we'll go to Angela, and then we'll go to Buggy. Denise, sorry.
So hello everyone.
The force of habit. Sorry.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah. I tell people all the time, man. If they call me Brett, you know what part of my life they come from. So hello everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Renee Chavez, Maes, and I've done a little over 24 years incarcerated at New Mexico Women's CCA. And then I went to Fort Stanton. From Fort Stanton, I went to Santa Fe South, and then I did my first parole from there. And then a million times I went back to CCA, and then I went to Springer Correctional, and then I went to Western Correctional Facility. So I think I've done them all so far. So it's great to be here tonight.
Thank you. Welcome.
Awesome. Angela?
Hi, my name is Angela Tello. I did time in grants at the CCA. I was there from 2010 till 2014. But I did a lot of jail time since I was 17. So I didn't hit prison till I was 30.
Denise?
Hi, I'm Denise, and I did time 17 years. I did time at CCA. I also did time at Western, Springer, back and forth because I didn't know how to stay out of trouble. So I was in Springer, Western, lots of times.
Okay, Renee, why don't you go ahead and start and tell us a little bit about what you're doing now that you're out, and how us as our podcast and our viewers can help you or help the program.
All right. Well, I like to say that I have the best position, right, in the whole world because reentry, right? I work in reentry. So in and out of prison 11 times. I have 11 reentries, 11 incarcerations to New Mexico Women's Correctional Facility since I was 18 years old. And now, I always got out to a halfway house, transitional living home. I never had family to get out to, or that was willing to receive me. So I was always one of the ones that would get out, and go straight into like Dismiss House, Precious Gifts, the Dismiss House a couple times, Precious Gifts a couple times. And anyway, this time I was able to get out to family. And so 1 year out, I was able to open Frontline Resurrection Women's Life Recovery Home in the North Valley of Albuquerque. And then 1 year later, in the same month, we opened another one in the South Valley. And then 1 year later, in the same month, we opened the Life Recovery Ranch in Los Padillas. And yesterday, I just put a new woman and her baby into our fourth home here in Albuquerque, in the South Valley. And so, I don't know if you can see it in my eyes or not, but it's been hard. I think, I became probation and parole approved last year, and since then I've been able to take out those women who nobody wants to take out because of their disciplinary history, or because of their crime, right, because of the violence or whatever. But you and I, every woman under the sound of my voice on this call, knows that, we've done stuff, crazy stuff, but we need a chance to get out, at least one chance or two or three or four, right?
Right.
So, I've found myself accepting women that aren't getting accepted anywhere else, and it's been a pretty heavy. So first thing that I think everybody can do is, keep me in prayer, lift me up in prayer and lift us up in prayer, because we carry the pains of these women and the trauma of these women, and until they can carry it on their own out here, it's almost like being a stabilizer, if you would. They're leaning on you, and you're carrying, with them, walking with them, especially with the certified peers. We're a peer ran facility, so it's a fine line, the boundary, right, from a director to peer support. Like, we've lived together all our lives, and these women are in my houses, and it's almost like at 1 o'clock in the morning you want to show up and make sure they're not going to fall back. So it's a very fine line. So lots of prayers. If you we can always use donations, because the women, when they get out, they don't, I'm not one of them programs that say, well, you don't have the money, you can't come in. They pay a small rent, but I wait till they get up on their feet, and as soon as they can start paying rent. And so sometimes that means that I have to tithe into the ministry, so that way we can cover their rent. So monetary donations are always good, but beds and frames and bed in the bags and sheets, those are always, and clothing, right? These ladies get out and they don't have anything. Man, who doesn't like to put something pretty lightly used, something fresh, something cute, a nice purse, that's always making them smile and making that transition just a little bit easier.
Now, you and I both know that addiction is hard. We fall sometimes, we get back up. How do you help these women from either falling, or when they do fall, how do you help them out of that situation? Or do you just send them back like some of the probation officers do, or like some of the other halfway houses and group homes do?
I've actually it's quite the opposite for me, because I guess because we have lived experience and we know what it's like to slip and get sent back when you were doing it so well and you were almost there, and something came in, and you took a hit or whatever, or you just, maybe you had some you just fall, you relapse, right? But we
Right.
know, based off of the stages of change, that relapse is a part of recovery. And so definitely, when someone falls, it just depends, like, if it's, how severe it is. But I'm kind of known to give second, third, and fourth chances, which can be a bad thing, because then I have other residents who are doing it like, well, you let her do it. Well, you let her do it. But who's not used to that? If we are, we've been living with the women all our life. Like, I'm used to getting that. Like, it doesn't really move me too much when they talk crap, because I'm giving someone a chance time and time again. But I am getting a little wiser, because if someone's sober and you're getting high constantly, that's not fair for the other woman who's, at risk of falling too. So I've learned, I pick them up, take them to detox, reach out to Denise, reach out to other people who have detox, reach out to my twin, Angela, and make sure that, well, who's doing what, where's the, because I've never, ever, ever put a woman out on the street. If you don't want to do my program, let's get you in the Hoffman Hall. Let's get you somewhere. But definitely detox. And then, like today, I picked somebody up from detox who was doing phenomenal. She slipped. She did her 4 or 5 day detox. I picked her up and I brought her home. I took her at midnight 4 nights ago, and I brought her home today at 9:30 a.m. So, that's a lot of what I do in the day, is making sure that, that we're sober, B, if we're not, that we get back up on track. So no, I don't send people back. I'm actually have a bad rap for not sending people back. I'm loose.
Now, how, in your own recovery, how did you do it to finally say enough's enough? What
You
was
know,
your self-talk?
for me it was my babies, right? So finally, a lot of you guys know my story. When I came back in 16, I was pregnant one day in the womb, and my baby, right, started to grow in my belly. So this, every time since then that I've fallen, it's been heartbreaking because of my babies, right? And so for me, that's been the factor that God used in my life to say, I could build a family, I'd be a good mom, and so because I think that when I would get high, the shame would suffocate me, right? I was supposed to go get my daughter, and I'd be stuck smoking crack somewhere in the war zone, and the sun would go up and the sun would go down, and before you know it, I wasn't checking in. You get stuck in the fear and the shame, and so finally it was just like, that was it. I just told myself that I could do it, and with God and my children and peer support and just all of those things and helping one another, you know I think that was a powerful thing, because once I started peer support inside with the echo program, you
Uh-huh.
start talking about it, you got to be about it. Like, I can't walk around and talk about change and teach on addiction and then, be in the corner slamming. I mean, I did a couple of times, but after a while, you want to be true to yourself and true to your word and what you're speaking about. You want to be what you're speaking about, right? So I
Right.
think that had a lot to do with it.
So being in prison, we know that we've fallen and we've done our dirt in there. What do you say to a person that is doing time? What kind of programs are there that you would recommend for them to reach out while they're incarcerated to start making that change?
Yeah. So right now, we definitely have a shortage of programs in our facilities, but the programs that we do have are still going strong. And of course, in Springer, and now we're starting it in Western, is Moms from the Inside Out. That curriculum, Moms from the Inside Out, is adapted from Inside Out Dads, which is, clinically proven. And I promise you, Michaela Trujillo Baxter and myself co-wrote that in Springer, and all we did was flip dads from the inside out dads, and it has graduated more women, but it also starts to rebuild the broken mom, the broken sister, the broken daughter, you know what I mean, and that brokenness as women, when we start healing the broken mommy daughter heart, I think that has a powerful thing to do. So I definitely recommend that. And then gender specific reentry, trying to find reentry, faith based services, no matter what your faith is, you got to get rooted in something true, in some truth, and buckle it around you. So you have, it's almost like, training wheels when we get out here, support systems. So they have the Office of Peer Recoveries going in with the certified peer support worker. If you have 3 years more of recovery or more, man, peer support's changing the game. We're able to get out, and our prison and our drug use and all that is on your resume, and it's getting, I tell the ladies, there's no more, I don't believe in felon friendly lists. You know what I mean? I used to hate that list. I used to look at it like, dang, where am I going to go, Albertsons? But now, if you can start your own organization. You can look at Denise, look at Angela, like you can work for the city of Albuquerque. There's nothing that you can do street safe. You can do everything that happened to us in our addiction is what goes on your resume. That's what's so powerful. And so echo, peer support, getting involved in those things, education, GED. Look at Dawn Green. She was the tutor in there forever, right? And now she's just, works for the city of Albuquerque. It's just phenomenal, about that part. But 12-step recovery, just anything you can do to increase, start your own program inside. I think that the clubs inside, did you know that the clubs, the way you write a club inside is the way you write a 501c3 outside? I wrote 3 of them inside, and when I got out, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, articles, presidents, board, wait, I got this, right? And I had no idea, but God knew that this is what I would be doing, and I was able to write that 501c3 nonprofit, and God just used it. And so anything you can get your hands on in there, man. And I believe in it. I believe in education.
Right. And what about mental health? What are your thoughts on that?
So there's a lot of stigma around mental health, right? But we need to, mental health doesn't have, there's it doesn't matter what walk of life, what your sexual orientation is. It doesn't matter, what pronouns you use. It doesn't matter, what faith you claim. It doesn't matter, what. None of that matters. When you look at the psyche of a woman, right? The
Right.
heart, the emotion, the trauma, the all of the things that have been broken in our life, they need healing. They need someone, and there goes peer support again. We need someone who's gonna you can trust, who you can get your thoughts out to. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I keep everything that I go through in a day inside of me, I start to short circuit, and I'm like that what not to do for self-care presentation that Michaela and Trujillo Baxter does, where the lady's all zapped out and her eyes are all bloodshot red, and she's all worn out, and she has burnout, and we have to journal, we have to write, we have to seek therapy. I have a therapist. We have to have someone to bounce our brains, our thoughts, our pains off of, someone I can dump on and cry, who's not going to go spread it out on the mountaintops. You know what I'm talking
Right.
about? A
Right.
safe space to heal, and I just need to dump sometimes and walk off, and I'm like a new woman, and I can have more capacity to carry people's burdens. But if I don't have an outlet, man, I'll bust. And I think that's what's going around. People need to feel welcome. They need to have a place where they can be themselves and talk truth. And if you can't be that for someone, we got to find those spaces for people. You know, I don't
That's
know.
Right.
really good.
There's a lot in that
That's
one.
really good, I mean, Renee. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. I have a question. During your prison stay, did you ever experience any acts of violence? And if you did, how did that affect your mental health?
Acts of violence. Well,
Well, you
I
know
got
we do
thrown in. I
that all
got
the
thrown in an
time.
oven once. Didn't. No. She's
You
laughing at
guys
me
were the
because.
one doing the acts of violence. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we were pretty violent, but no, it was a crazy thing, because I think hurt people, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Healed people heal people, right?
that's
Yes.
And
right.
so until those people that are committing acts of violence, until they get healing where they can be restored and they can start healing others that we can't even reach, even in our youth and the younger generation. So for me, I've been on both sides of the spectrum, right? I've been on the side in the interpersonal, right? I was married to a woman who I love very much. And she was everything to me. We were cleaved together, and I have to tell you that we had violence. She was abusive sometimes, like very abusive, and until I finally got my big girl pants on one day. But other than that, I've been on the, so when that was going on, it's a weird cycle of violence. I think the cycle of violence doesn't have gender on it. The cycle of violence it's a mental thing. It's a internal thing, that we put ourselves through, where we're almost like trapped in a cage on a hamster wheel, if you would. And if you look at the cycles of violence, like you're in the honeymoon stage, and then you go into, so you go through that whole cycle. So it's a mental thing. Because I remember losing myself. Like, I was all cool and everything, and then I met this one woman, and then fell in love with her. And then when she took her love away, I was desperate, right? I turned into Desperate Sally and the Sunshine Lady, because I was on my hamster wheel. But once I got freedom from that, or when we were in a honeymoon stage, then I was abusing others, right? I was being violent with other people, like, oh, you owe me money, or whatever it was, like, this is my turf, or I'm better than bad, or whatever the case scenario was, that inferiority that I had going on. Um, and so on the other side of the spectrum, I think for a long time I didn't have any thought about it. You just go and you fight, or you take, and then you go back to your cell, and then you have no conscience. But when I started to get programs and faith, when I met Jesus and touched the hem of his garment, I would fight, and then it would be, it just wasn't right inside. I was starting to change from the inside out, and I didn't want to hurt. I didn't want to take anymore. I wanted, heal people. I wanted to bring something different. So I would just say that, definitely work those, understanding the cycles of violence and understanding where you're at in those is a big thing. Education, educate
Right.
yourself. Yeah, definitely.
So if you could give advice to somebody that's either going in or coming out, what advice would you give them?
If you're going in, please don't put on prison like a garment. At 18 years old, I put on prison. I wore it like pride, with pride. It was a badge of honor. I was, I conformed to the facility. I conformed to the culture. I conformed to the politics. I got good at being in prison, and I was so comfortable at it that when the judge would be like, "I'm sending you back," I'd be like, "Send me back. Shoot, I'm going back to my family." I built family in there, family units and stuff like that. So I would say, don't do that because then you're in it, and it's so hard to take that garment off. It's so hard to undo. It's almost like a part of the fiber of your very being. Because when I was in prison, I just felt like it was my family, like it was my home. When that's such a lie, it wasn't my home. It was a tool that was being used to not only save my life, it saved my teeth. And it saved my life, it saved my teeth, it saved my mind, it saved my future, right? Because even though I'm 46 or something like that, I could be dead right now, right? And I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. So if you're getting out of prison, man, reach out. You see the faces on the screen? Reach out. Get connected with the right group. Get CPSW certified. If you don't have 3 years clean, get CSW certified. Get CHW certified. Community health work, community support work, where you can make 1750, at least 18, 19 to start, and then climb, and then build, and train, and get involved in helping people. Listen, we have phase 3 of the fentanyl epidemic going on live in our city. There's a situation on every corner that when you're strong enough, you can be part of the solution. Definitely.
Right. Thank you so much, Renee, for sharing and
Absolutely.
telling your story. Um, how about you, Denise? Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us how long you did and what you're doing now.
Okay, so I was incarcerated for about 17 years total. Now I'm working with the city of Albuquerque, opioids education and prevention coordinator. I've been doing that for the last year with Renee's help. She got me in. All the blessings go to her. She's helped me in a lot of different ways. Now I've put in the work myself to continue to keep my job and to continue to go out there and help the people that are struggling with their addiction and they have nobody to turn to. They're the type of people that have burned every bridge in their family. They're the ones that have tore everything down and now they're on that street corner begging for somebody to help them. So I'm able to go out there and if they allow me to meet them where they're at, that's what I do. I'll go out there and let them tell me what they want me to do for them. I've done a lot of bad in my life, and now it's definitely time for me to give back, you know?
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it has been amazing. I'm telling you, it's something different. I just now got an extension on my contract. I'm about to be a term position with the city of Albuquerque with life insurance. I'm about to have it. It's going to be good. God has blessed me. He knows my heart. He knows that I've been faithful. He also knows that I'm completely done now. You know what I mean? My life and what I used to be and all the prison terms that I've done was terrible. I was into everything in prison. I mean, I used to be ugly sometimes. I used to fight. I used to make people's lives miserable. That's terrible. And now today I'm able to give back. I'm able to help somebody that's struggling, no matter what it's with, whether it be the homeless on the side of Family Dollar, I'll go in Family Dollar, buy them something and hand it to them. Whatever I could do to help anybody. I go to the UNM hospital. I link with Presbyterian now. I'm about to be in opioids court. I mean, our program with Albuquerque Community Safety is growing so big with opioids because that's what's the biggest thing in Albuquerque today is opioid. The fentanyl is taking over. It's killing our young kids. I've been out to homes that lost a 2-year-old, lost a 6-year-old. It breaks my heart when I knock on the door and that has happened, you know?
Yeah. Tell us, what was it that was your breaking point to finally say enough is enough?
My breaking point is when I went back to the feds. I had gotten out in 2020. I was home 6 months. I was doing everything I was supposed to do except one thing. I slipped up and started getting high again. God looked at me and was like, "You, this wasn't the plan. This wasn't your plan. You were supposed to get out and do your CPSW. I was supposed to, do things that I didn't do." And I started, dipping and dabbing with weed and stuff. And I ended up picking up a case with the marshals. Was not my case. It had nothing to do with me. I got arrested in December of 2020. I was facing a life sentence. I had to go in there and hit my knees, and God just flashed before my eyes that I wasn't going to see my sons no more. My grandkids, they were going to grow without me. Life was going to be different for me. I called a friend, got into prayer. She told me, "Do you have faith?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know if I have faith or not. I can't answer that question. I prayed a lot of times not to go to prison, and I still got all this time." She was like, "Well, I need you to go in there and pray and keep on and don't look back." So when I got in there, I stayed faithful to God the entire time I was in the feds. God delivered me. They dropped all the drug charges, gave me an aiding and abetting charge. From that point forward, that was it for me. I couldn't take another chance of losing my entire life. And my kids never being able to see this side of me, and being able and losing my mom and dad while I'm in there, and I never was able to make a change in my life. I
Yeah.
definitely did not want my mom and dad to be buried, and I still was in that lifestyle while my brother was out here doing everything that he needed to do.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So going back, you might have to think back a little bit further than some of us. But when you first went before a judge and they sentenced you to prison for the first time,
Hmm.
what did you feel inside? Now, I know that, like, when we go to prison, our families are also in prison as well. I do understand that. And I understand the devastation of our family and our children. But how did you feel the very first time when the judge said, "Okay, Denise Maes, you are going to prison for X amount of years, months, whatever it was"? What did you feel?
Literally wanted to fall out of the chair when the judge said 20 years, let's suspend 8. My heart was crushed. I couldn't believe that one man sitting on a little desk right there can actually just take my life from me. And I was never going to be able to, like you said, my kids were going to be without me. They were so little. They were 6 and 8 years old when I left them the first time. So, I mean, I got back to that cell when he sentenced me, and I looked at their pictures, and my heart was shattered. And from that point, I built walls so nothing else can ever affect me like that pain did. That actually damaged me when he sentenced me to that much time. It actually made me become, I'm not a cold-hearted person, I can't say that, but it's put walls up in my heart that I've been praying and seeing a therapist today to try to break them down, to allow me
Oh,
of the of whatever emotions I'm supposed to feel today that I don't. I've been praying about. Because I'm
right.
telling you, when I got sentenced, my heart was shattered into a million pieces, and I don't believe it's back to one heart yet. It's still shattered, even though I'm out there doing for others and doing what I need to do. I still have broken pieces that need to come back together.
You need to heal yourself and your heart too.
Yes.
Sometimes, and the work that you're doing is going to help bring those little pieces back together.
Yeah. And
Okay,
it,
Now, when you were on the inside, what programs did you do to stay busy, if you did any?
well, at the very, don't laugh, Renee Chavez. I can see you. Anyways, the first time, I'm not going to even lie to you, Jules, I didn't do any programming. The first 7 years, I did nothing but run amok, work in the kitchen, do the most, to be honest with you. I went
Mhm.
back the second time. I continued to do the most, run amok, and finally, I was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I had to sit on that top bunk and think, this has to be enough for me. Back and forth to Western to SEG over and over. So I put myself into RDAP. I graduated RDAP. From there, I went to be a mentor in sober living. And that's what changed my life, is because I was sitting on the top bunk looking around like, what am I doing? I continue
And
not
then
even
she
to,
called me.
yeah. And then I call Renee and I'm like,
You
Renee,
know she was serious if she called me.
I called Renee and I was like, Renee, I'm serious. I'm changed everything for the best, you know. And she was like, you better, you know. And you know, Renee lectures me, and I'm like, I did. Everything's going good. Well, when you get out, make sure you call me. When I got out this last time, first number I dialed was Renee's.
That's awesome.
Got into my peer support work. She helped me through that. Got me in with the city of Albuquerque, God's Warehouse. I worked with Best Chance for the recently released. I've been in a lot of different areas, but I must say the job that I do today brings me so much joy, and I have a passion for it. To just, when I go out and talk to these people, I can just, we just, right away, we just, hit it off, because I have lived experience. I've been an addict. I've been in my addiction. I know what it's like to mess up everything and I can't get right. I know what it's like. And I
Right,
let them know that. Like, I know what it's like. And I know when you need that one person to help you because you have nobody else.
right. So, being addicted, how do you deal with that on a daily basis? Because I know it's hard for each and every single one of us that have been addicted to any kind of substance or anything in particular. How do you self-talk yourself to remain sober?
Every morning I wake up, I get in my word. I pray to God. I have, my foundation is built with God right now. He's the one that walks me through every day, and I don't give up because He continues to bless me, and even the little blessings to the big, He lets me know that He's there. So every day, like, I got to make sure I do like self care, just take some time out. Now I walk my dog by myself and talk to God, and that's how I've been staying grounded this time. And I don't hang around with anybody that's in their addiction. I'm not talking bad about being in addiction, but as a recovering addict, it's really easy to get back in with that crowd, and you see what they're doing and you automatically want to do it because you can't keep you're an addict.
Right,
So I do not interact with anybody that is in their addiction unless I'm helping them. Now, I'm not going to go sit at a house full of people that's
mhm,
smoking a bowl and drinking, because I don't know where would I be at if that was to happen to me. Do you know what I mean? So
right.
I stay to myself a lot. I'm by myself a lot. I'm going to get back into going to a different church, back to New Beginnings. So I'm pretty much alone here at my house, but I still stay pretty grounded.
That's good. Now, I know, like you said, you have to separate yourself from those that are in active addiction. Sometimes some of us have to even separate ourselves from family members who are in active addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have done that, but if you have, how did you be able to tell them that you can't be around them, and what was their reaction to it?
One good thing about with my family is I left Clovis. So I'm not around any of my family that is struggling with their addiction. I'm in Albuquerque, as you know. My brother lives in Albuquerque. My brother is not a drug user. My mother lives here in Albuquerque. She don't use heavy drugs.
That's awesome.
My uncle Paul, he drinks, but he stays to himself. And when he drinks, I just don't drink with him. I'm like, no, Uncle Paul, I can't do it. He's like, all right. He thought, they never force it on me, so I don't have to worry about that. So my family here in Albuquerque, which I don't have a lot of here, none of them is in an addiction, so I don't have to worry about telling them, no, get that away from me, or I don't want to be around that. They're pretty much really supportive. My sons don't use drugs when they come down. They're really good. So that has not been a battle for me at all.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you working with people that are in active addiction, how does that affect you being a person that was addicted to substances? Does it have an effect on you?
The only effect it has on me is when I walk into somewhere and I smell the fentanyl. It kills me. Me and Renee's been in a situation like that to where we've walked in and everybody was in there smoking fentanyl. That was our job. That was our one of her girls, you know. And as I walk in there today, the only way it affects me is all I could think to myself is, I wonder when they're going to get out of the darkness. But then I have to think I stayed in the darkness for 20 years and better, and nobody could tell me about being in the darkness. I didn't care what they had to say. That's the only thing I think now is, God, I hope and pray when I walk out of here today, this person is going to want me to help them.
Now, you mentioned something about a CPSW. For those that don't know what that is, can you explain what that is and how would somebody obtain it?
So I'm a certified peer support worker. You can obtain it through OPRE, OPRE, with Militia Montano. I don't know if a lot of you guys knew who that is. She does a lot of that. And if you guys ever need help getting that done,
I
just
need
let me
help
know.
with that.
Okay, I'll
Because
help you.
I'm with Wings. You know I'm with Wings, right?
Hey,
They're starting to get, they want community support workers at all our sites. So
uh-huh.
I have to do it. It's for my work.
Okay, so then Rhiannon, hit me up on Messenger after this, and then we'll talk from there, and I'll call
Thank you.
Militia for you tomorrow, so you
Thank
can
you.
get that started. You know, it's important to have that under your belt, just
Thank
as well. You know, so if anybody out there that's listening that wants to do that as well, give me a call so we can get you guys signed up into a class, so you guys can do your 4 hours of training. It's an awesome training. Don't stress about the test. It's common sense. It's common knowledge. It's not hard.
That's awesome.
you. That's
Now,
cool.
if you can give advice to the person that's going in to do some prison time and the person that's coming out, what would you tell them?
The person going in, I would tell them to do their own number. Don't try to pull no officer to bring your drugs in. Stay to yourself. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Do as many classes as you can do. Go to school while you're there. Do whatever you can to better yourself before you get back out. And anybody that's coming out, I would suggest, now that they do the OPRI there in prison, like Renee was mentioning, sign up for your CPSW. You're clean and sober in there now. You can do that. And just get ready to come out here. And if you're going to transitional, stay to yourself. Don't involve yourself with anybody else that's in their drug use. Don't let nobody bring you back down. Know what you're up against when you walk out that door, and be prepared, because it's not easy. It's not easy every day.
That's awesome. Thank you so
That's
much,
good.
Denise.
I think that you were very successful this time because you knew in your mind what you had to do and you put that
Mhm.
plan into action. So
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. And a lot
Thank
of these
you.
people that you're touching their lives right now, they're going to be able to heal your heart because I know what you're talking about, like the judge.
Yeah.
So what we're
Hmm.
doing in this stuff, I've been finding out a little bit of stuff about myself, like about
Yeah.
certain things that we don't talk about or the time that we lost, or you know what I mean. And what you were talking
Yeah.
about with the judge, I feel like
Yeah.
that too, like that's something that you can't never get back, you know. And
It's
it's
not, and as like Rhiannon's saying, as bad as you try to get it back, I sit, because we have like a paid therapist at the job we do, because it's a lot of work. There's days that we're stressed out, where there's days that I go knock on a door and I've already lost the individual to an overdose, and I have to be like right there with their mom, and I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's hard for me. Then I just think back, what if that happened to my mom? And it makes me think back, and then I start self-reflecting what life could have actually been like if I didn't decide to make a change. I could be dead today and not even be helping anybody because of the choices I could have made after I came out. If I didn't put my mind to it, and God didn't open my eyes while I was still in there to come out and want to do this work and to give back all that I've taken, now I'm a blessing to others. And through the grace of God, though, like I said, I have to wake up thanking God every day. It's not easy.
oh,
That's
that's
right.
amazing. Thank you. We're so
Hmm.
grateful for you and all the work that you're doing, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does
Thank you
anybody
so
know what
much.
happened to Angela? She didn't come back.
I resent her the link. I'm not too sure if she's able to get on. She did message me saying that she's having a difficult time. I don't know if it's her internet connection or what, but I did resend her the link.
Oh, okay, okay. So maybe we might have to reschedule her.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to share, Denise? your mission, anything that you like, maybe any of our viewers, if you need volunteers or anything that you would like to.
I just tell everybody, if you're still struggling with your addiction, look us up and let us help you guys. We're here for you guys. We're here to help you to get better. And I'll meet them where they're at. I don't care if they were high tonight and they called me in an hour and they're like, please help me tonight. I'm struggling. I'm going to pick them up and take them wherever I have to, whether it be to detox, whether it be to New Mexico Wellness, whether I have to call Renee for help, Angela for help, whoever it is that I have to reach out to get anybody help that's out there that doesn't have anybody to talk to. Don't be afraid to reach out to us. We'll help you guys.
That's right. Thank you.
That's a great message.
Yes, yes. Let us help you guys. Don't think that everybody's given up on you, because we haven't.
And I'm also going to want to get my CMSW as well, Denise. So I'll be messaging you.
Just be messaging me so I could keep you posted, and I'll get a hold of Militia tomorrow, and then Rihanna will give me a call and we'll get her in the class too, so she can
That
get
sounds good.
certified too, because then after that we can go anywhere and get a job.
Hey,
We
Denise,
have
we
that.
should think about doing workshops, or like, you know what I mean? That we would bring all those little things together where people can come and like where we're doing networking a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, start getting with me and we'll start planning something.
Cool.
That
That's
sounds
awesome.
good.
Yes, it sounds good. I'm here in Albuquerque, so whenever you guys want, or I could drive wherever. I got a vehicle. I'm not worried about that part. So we can link
We're
up.
here too. We get together sometimes at Jules's house. Maybe we can all get
Oh,
together.
Yeah.
so you live, both of y'all are here in Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here in
Oh,
Albuquerque.
so
Yeah.
Rhiannon, do you work with JD Medina?
Yeah, I do.
He got hired with, I got him in with the city of Albuquerque.
Can you help me get in? No.
Well, I'm telling you guys,
Because
let's, hey,
no, honestly, you know
yes.
as well as I know, it's not who you are, it's who you know. And if you
Yes,
know
that's right.
that
That's
can
right.
get you in,
So
like
let me
that,
know when you guys meet up. I'll go meet up with you guys. I'm serious. My
that's
life is
Sounds
awesome.
good.
not what it used to be anymore. So I'm ready. I'll help you guys get in where we gotta go. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I'm gonna send you my info, and if you
Okay.
can, you know what I mean, hook it up with anything. Thank you.
Yes,
I
yes, I
appreciate
will.
you so much.
Yes, I
Yes.
will for sure, Rihanna. I'm serious. Where I'm at now with the city of Albuquerque, they're hiring more people from my field as well. Plus, they're hiring TRCs. Man, this program is about to expand. I'm telling you guys, and it's been only me. It's been only me for the last 9 months. I've been out to a billion places, helped so many people by myself, and they were like, "We have to get you help. This is going to be
That's
too much for
good.
you." I'm telling you this, it's about to blow up. It's about to get big, and I'll help you get there. You just have to let me know.
Right on. Well, we can bring Jules on too because she's ready for
Yes,
a job.
yes.
No, just kidding.
Let's do
Yeah.
this. I
Let's
live
do
here
it.
too. I'm in the North Valley. I live by myself over here.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the North Valley too. I'm off of Broadway and McKnight. So like my main cross streets would be Broadway and Mountain.
Okay, so I'm over here off of Rio Grande, and I'm by Rio Grande and I-40 on off of Zickerit. I live kind of in Los Duranes off on Coca Road.
Oh, you're pretty close to me then.
Yes, I'm pretty close to you. So
Yeah.
I'm in a big ass house. I don't even know what I'm doing in this big house by myself, but I'm here.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, just me and my dog. Yeah. So yes. Okay. So I know where Broadway and McKnight's at.
Yeah, all you basically do is come down Indian School from the Donis area Indian School to where it turns into Manal and Broadway, and we're right under the pass.
Hey, maybe
okay,
we could
so-
add Bug to our list because we're gonna have a little get together, but we haven't officially had a date. We're like putting it together, but we don't have a date. But it's gonna be close to the end of the month, right, Jules?
Yeah.
Well, let me know, and if we need more room, like I said, you guys, I got a big ass house. We could bring everybody here.
Sounds good.
And it's just me by myself and my little dog, but still, we're all welcome. We could have dinner here. Whatever you guys want to do, let me know.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I'm so grateful, and I
Sounds
will be
good.
reaching out behind
Okay.
bars in the 505 is so grateful to you for
Yes.
everything and
Thank you,
everything
guys.
that the work that you're doing in our
Yeah.
community, because I feel like that's so important. And this is why I wanted to start this platform, because I want
Yes,
people to know that it's important. If
it
they don't
is.
have, I didn't have family. And like one of the people that was really important to me was Jules, because I didn't
Yeah.
have like people to reach out to, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
it's important, if you have to keep your circle small, you don't go
Yep.
back to where you're from. Like
Yep.
there's just certain things sometimes you have to do. And I have a lot of respect for you, because it takes a lot to do that. You know what I mean? To
It
step
does.
out
And
and be a different person, you
yeah.
know? And I'm just so grateful for everybody and all the work that we're all doing together. And hopefully
Yes.
maybe we can work together. No?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Hopefully.
because I
Yeah.
think it'd be
In the near
great, you
future,
know?
let's do this. Yeah. Make sure you guys hit me up on Messenger. I'll even give you my personal number through there, how whatever, you know what I mean?
Of
And we'll
course.
start linking up. We can go grab something to eat. Whatever you guys want to do. Like I said, I
Cool.
get off by 5. After 5 on, I'm just by myself pretty much.
All
All
right,
right.
cool.
Sounds
Thanks.
good. Thank
It
Okay.
you
was
so
good
much.
talking to you
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Thank
I'll see you
you.
guys again.
Have
Okay.
a good
Bye.
one.
You guys have
Bye.
a good one. Bye bye.